Hello everyone, today crazy day as usual guys. BMNR ripping face vertical. I say that every video guys, ripping face. I mentioned around $15 whole dollar level, and this was the exact same situation as CYN. I mentioned it right at that 15 level as well. It ends up ripping face like multiple, like $30. And BMNR, this one actually had news today that was significant. If you read the news headline, it says $250 million private placement. And I said in the previous videos that anytime you see a news where there's like a big figure, $100 million, $200 million, you want to pay attention to what's going on, because that triggers algos and a lot of people get FOMO, right? So this stock, it says right there, one of the largest publicly traded ETH holders, and this stock just ends up ripping immediately. But what ended up happening with this stock is that in the opening, around that time when it started to rip right in the beginning, it was really choppy and it was just trading sideways, and that's not the best time to day trade. You want to trade when there's clean price action, when there's the best momentum, right? Because you don't want to get chopped up, get paper cut. So I mentioned it right when it got clean. You could check yourself on the chart that I mentioned, perfect time, $15 as soon as that broke on the more extended time frame, the 5-minute chart, not the second or 1-minute chart. I like to use 5-minute chart on these thicker type of setups in the morning time. So this stock ended up ripping face as soon as 15 broke, candle close over. You start seeing this stock just skipping on the tape, halting up. It ended up ripping to $30, and then you see the shorts get bent over after hours, because this is the thing with shorting. I sent past videos, but I used to short right years ago and I blew up, just being honest. And the thing is, the short psychology is similar to bull psychology, where once they start to get trapped, they start to think about, it's like hope, right? They start to think about, oh, what if, it's like basically praying, right? They say this stock could have an offering, this stock could hold down, this stock could, dilution, and they just start running through their mind. They start thinking, what's the possible outcome where they could get bailed out. And this is the thing with small cap, is that oftentimes in extended hours they have offerings, especially in after hours or pre-market. That's why you see a lot of times stocks gapping down big, or they release data or a big short report that causes the stock to plummet. But the thing is, if that doesn't happen though, that's when the shorts get, bent over, as you see after hours with ripping face. So that was a really nice play, guys. There's a lot of stocks to go over in this video, so I can't really spend too much time on one. So next one, KLTO. This one was a nice move as well. I mentioned that, again, $1 psychological level, very important, and this was a technical setup as well. If you like bull patterns, this was a picture perfect setup. Ends up ripping to 139. That's a 39% potential gain. Yeah, the thing with this stock is that I was mentioning it multiple times as well. This is one of those lower market cap stocks. It's not even 100 million market cap, and once this thing starts to go, it starts to rip really nicely. So that was KLTO. Again, I'm just trying to keep it quick because there's way too much in this video to go over, like way too many stocks. So plug, this one, vertical move after open. Again, I mentioned very good volume. This stock, the thing is, this stock is that a higher float. Plug, I remember the stock way back during COVID times. This was a really nice play. This is one of those sector plays where it's more clean, those type of, that time when those sector was really hot. This was way back during the days where stocks like Gevo, Clean Spark, FCell, OPTT, this was like 7 years ago, something like that. And this was a really big winner. I remember back in the day I banked on this one, I'm pretty sure. Plug, and the ripping face. And this stock today had a really nice move. This is a high float, over 1 billion float. But I said in the previous video that if a stock has high float, that doesn't mean that it's not gonna run. If it has sufficient volume, because if a stock has high float but the volume overrides the fact that it has high float, then it doesn't really matter. Because I've seen stocks with, again, high float make really crazy moves. So this was a really nice win. Plug. Next stock was VOR. This one, I mentioned it right near the penny level. I mentioned multiple times around, it was really not even 50 cents, it was like 30 cents. And it just kept squeezing multi-day, and then eventually made that nice multi-day consolidation, big breakout. Because if you watch my previous videos, you know that when the stock doesn't fade, like once it doesn't crack, multi-day just holds, you're going to eventually see a squeeze, because a lot of shorts, they're banking on the fact that a stock breaks down. But when you don't see that happen, that's when you see that liquidity trap type of actions. The stock ends up ripping. From about $1 today, it was like 110. It ends up going to 174. That's a really nice percent gain. That's like 60%, which is really good. And the next stock is GNLN. This one I believe is a reverse split name, and when the thing with reverse split stocks, especially biotechs, this biotech, I think. GNLN, you guys gotta confirm that, but I believe it's a biotech, and this stock ends up ripping face. I mentioned it right at that 4 level, right when the volume was hitting that parabolic stage, where once volume starts to, the tape starts to get really fast, acceleration, combined with the fact it's a low float. If you watch my videos, you already know, guys, the thing with low float is that they make crazy. Oh no, this is a different stock, my bad, guys. GNLN. I'm doing this live, guys, so if you appreciate the the live video breakdowns, like the video, guys, I do everything live for you guys. Yeah, this is the right stock. 1 million float. I was looking at something else, but this stock was really quick to move. And the thing with low float is that I said in the previous videos, but once you catch the volume, once you catch that, once it starts to go parabolic, these stocks could run multi-dollar really quickly. So you could catch the wave, but again, this is not financial advice, but you also have to manage your risk, right? Because if something goes up really quick, then it could also, pull back very quickly. So that was a really good win. GNLN. Next stock is GNS, guys. You already know GNS. You guys really love GNS, and I made many videos on GNS all the way from 50 cents. And this stock, man, it reminds me of those AMC, GameStop times where people just really like the stock GNS for some reason. And it's because the stock has a story. If you look online or do some research, this stock has a story behind it, which drives a lot of people to it. Or remember those times when GameStop, AMC, the short situation made it all the way to mainstream news, where literally the TV, they were talking about on their TV, and this is a huge phenomenon. GameStop, AMC, and GNS, same type of situation where they're talking about fighting back against shorting. And I have no connection with Roger Hamilton, but I see what he's doing with the whole movement, right? And it's very bold of him, honestly, considering these small caps, a lot of times they do get shorted, and most of them, they are like dilution machines. And I said in the previous videos that Roger Hamilton, he looks like a very smart guy, because he knows how shorts they think as well. If you watch my previous videos, I talked about how shorts, they get overconfident when they see a stock that usually fades. Because GNS, if you go to the daily chart, this stock, I mentioned in the past, this stock usually is a short and short play for shorts. But again, if you see what this stock tends to do ever since I mentioned it, because it does such a high interest, every time it makes a pullback, it gets eaten up. The dips get eaten up very, very strongly. And this is not just one person or a few people. I'm talking, this is like millions and millions of volume. So there's something definitely going on that's bigger than just hype, right, in my opinion. So that's why I keep mentioning this stock since 50 cents, and it ends up ripping almost 200%. So you guys, if you caught that around 50 cents or even $1, because I mentioned it several times, around 80 cents, you're up big. And this stock, again, look at the volume. I said there yesterday's video that the volume, it had to be more than double the average volume, and look at this today. It's almost well over 30 million volume, and this is a average volume. The float rotation was very nice today, and as you see right now, it's literally holding. This is the perfect short trap, because it looked weak yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, the previous trading session, and now you're seeing them, they got squeezed pretty much today. And if you go to the extended time frame, go to the 1 hour chart, this is the A+ setup, guys. Look how beautiful this is. Rip, pull back, rip, pull back, rip, pull back. And I said in the previous video, 150 is that big line in the sand for the shorts. Not just psychologically, but also technically, and also speaking about the previous history. But you could check yourself, guys, and once 150 cracks, I think this could easily hit 2+. But again, it can't just crack with 1 second. As today it actually broke 150. I was watching it live, but that's not really a true breakout. You want to see extended time frame actually close over. For example, you want to see don't just use the 5-minute chart or 1-minute chart. Use the daily chart and the hourly chart. That's bigger, more conviction, right? So I see on Twitter the Roger Hamilton, the CEO, and a lot of people are they're actually putting in action. Like I see the CEO just keep talking about nonstop, where he's very active about the stock. And today he announced news actually in the morning time, where he hired a someone that deals with the shorts, right, the short selling, to aid his movement. And this is the thing with news is that when people they shorts, they think they see like fluff type of news, they like to short it. Because these type of management news, they don't get really any action. But look at what happened today. It ends up ripping from $1.20 to 153. So I'm pretty sure that there's shorts out there that's bent over right now. And on top of that, I'm seeing like a lot of people saying that there's no shares left available. So that could end up really bad for the bears. So this is a high watch for me. I said it many times. I'm gonna watch this all week. And there's no guarantee, but I'm telling you guys, if this breaks into 2+, then it's gonna be like GameStop type of situation. I'm not making I don't want to gas this up. I don't want to sound like I'm gassing it up too much, but I'm just saying what I honestly think, just my opinions. So guys, I wonder what your average is. Write down in the comments, if you want, what your GNS average is. I will be probably making more videos on this, so stick around, guys. And the next stock is PET. This one I mentioned it around the closing time, around a few hours before. I mentioned it 14 cents. It ends up ripping face again, 142%. And this thing with pennies is that a lot of times they catch algos. And the pennies are very low risk, high reward type of situations, which is why I mentioned in my previous videos. I really like trading pennies because even if you zoom out, and it's like pretty much bottoms, like they're trading on their 52-week lows. They're trading very cheap compared to valuation or compared to the previous trading sessions. So it's like very low risk compared to high reward, which is why I really like them, especially if it's like technical, that cap bounce type of situation. So PET announced, I alerted it, mentioned around 14 cents off of the also 10-cent psychological area. And once 15 cent broke the 5-cent interval, it just went crazy. 142% gain. So that was a really nice move as well, guys. So the next one was this one, HCTI, guys. Again, this one is a really popular name that I didn't mention it for a few days, but I've been on this since like a penny. It was around like a penny or 1.5, I don't remember. But it ends up ripping vertical, I think around like 400-500%, all the way to almost 5 cents, and then it ended up pulling back. I mentioned it again, and then it made it the second leg up, which was a really nice, I think it was like 100% banger. And then I stopped mentioning for a few days, and then it ends up pulling back. And this is the thing, like, look at this right now, the daily chart, and you can see for yourself what's happening right now. So basically, after a huge 500% move, you see a pullback, and then you want to see a short trap, like the short, they probably enter it. The shorts, they like shorting. Sorry guys, I had to sneeze. So shorting, they like to short when it's like a week, right? So this stock is perfect example of what could end up happening, similar to GNS, where once you see a stock make a big move up, consolidate, trap more shorts, and make the second leg higher. This stock, you want to watch the 3-cent level. I said many times, the 3-cent level, and right now, the daily chart, this has been the best type of action since I've seen since that the 2-day big run, right? Because if you look at the close of the daily chart in comparison to the previous trading sessions where it was just more like weak, right, selling type of pressure, it's finally starting to look bullish for a move again higher. So you put HCTI, guys, on the watch list, and I will definitely be monitoring this stock as well. Next one, ADER. This one I mentioned it many times as well, man. So a lot of you also really seem to love ADER. This is a meme type of squeeze setup that I traded in the past many times. I used to bank on this really hard, and it's a low float. I believe it's only like 5-minute float, micro floater. And there's a lot of catalysts behind this name that I can't spend too much time on this video because I already talk about too many stocks. But this is definitely a solid stock idea that you want to keep a close eye on. If you want to do more DD, there's a lot of DD research out there. And this stock, again, you want to keep on watch list. 150 psychological area, as well as daily chart is just starting to set up really beautifully after that downtrend is finally starting to curl up. And also keep an eye on SIDA. This is another supernova. In the past, I traded SIDA many times, banked, and the daily chart setting up as well. This one over 3, I really like it. but this was, I think this stock used to offerings often, but again, the offering could just be a more short field, so I'm not really worried about offerings unless, as long as it's not like, you know, literally that same instance, like that in that moment, right, when you're trading it. That's the only time I'm really like offerings, when you're in something starting breakout and then it just crashes, you know, like. But SIDA definitely add this to your watch list. Again, this is a micro floater. I'm gonna watch this all week. Next one, TMC, another one, guys. This video is like a lot of stocks that you guys really love. Messaging me a lot, and like in the comments, TMC, this one I was you know, mentioning it several times as well, and then ends up ripping face, like $2, ends up breaking over 8, and now I didn't mention it for a few days, and I was getting to the good levels, the levels you wanna, if you're a bull trying to get in the stock on a dip, or just a long-term trader on this name, just getting to really nice levels. I'm looking at it on extended time frame as usual. On higher float stocks, this stock is starting to base, and I want to see this curl back over 7 eventually. I think really soon, probably. This stock again has so much DD that you could do if you have time, or you really like the stock, where there's just like endless amounts of DD on this stock, where I can make like the whole video just for this one. I still have enough more information on it. There's a lot of going on for this, especially with this administration and you know, the situation with you know, Trump, right? So yeah, just keep it at this to watch this, guys. TMC. Next one, alt. Again, this one mentioned it many times, and again, this one, I see a lot of people really like this stock as well, but unfortunately this stock ended up doing the you know, the big drop for biotechs. This is what I mentioned many times in my videos, where biotechs can make really crazy moves, but at the same time they can make really big drops, and there's nothing, I mean, it's part of the game, right? That's what, when you're trading, you know, you pretty much know when you get into these biotechs. But this is what I'm mentioning right now. I really like, just being 100% honest, I really like how the price action was today. I did not expect it to go over $4 and just have massive volume, because I said in the previous video I was expecting more of like a 20-cent bounce, but this is a really strong movement compared to what I'm used to, right? Well, when you see the dead cat bounces, usually it pops like to, like, I was expecting like $3 to go over there and then roll over, but now it's just holding, and this is really good. I mean, really nice movement. If you're a dead cat bounce trader, keep at this to your watch list, guys. So next one is Husa Indo MXC. I mentioned this many times, guys. Again, Oilers, you want to add this to your watch list. Again, if you remember, that was like a week ago or something, these make crazy moves, and again, I mentioned to you, and I'm not trying to brag, guys. I'm sorry if, you know, it comes off like cocky, but I'm just trying to motivate people and, you know, just basically, like, you know, inspire people. I'm not really not trying to brag. So Husa Indo MXC, I mentioned this in just like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and then it made crazy moves. It went like ape parabolic, and then now finally pulled back. I didn't mention it for a few days because I knew the selling was coming, because also the catalyst, right, the oil war situation cooled down, and right now it's getting to that perfect retracement levels if you're looking for long-term like support, like swing type of levels, right? Husa, look at it right now, perfect $10 support, like the psychological $10 level, and it's fully cooled off now. You can make that another pop. Husa, Indo, MXC. There's just so many, it's like 30 I can name, but keep an eye on them, definitely. BBAI, AI play. Again, I mentioned this many times. Yesterday's video mentioned it as well. It ends up ripping face over seven taps, and I said yesterday that this could easily hit over 10 plus easily with the sector, but this is a higher flow name, I'm pretty sure. BBAI, and also the market cap is higher than usual, the small caps, right, that I usually mention, which was like under $1 billion. But this stock has such a strong momentum and so much, again, story behind it, where you have to add this to watch this, or if you're already in the stock, I'll be sitting pretty on BBAI. So again, guys, I'm just trying to, there's too many stocks. PSTV, this one, again, I mentioned in the past, this is a cheap bio company. Penny is ready. Look at how it's setting up on the extended time frame. PSTV, I'm watching for the 50 cent break, but that's far off. So again, 5-cent intervals work as well. PSTV, I'm watching it very closely. So guys, I really wanted to make this video shorter, but there's no choice, you know, guys. There's too many plays going vertical, too many people, you know, liking these stocks, guys. I'm just trying to help people, and I appreciate you guys, seriously. So I'm gonna be mentioning trading this every day. making daily videos, and there's a lot more to talk about. I really, wish I could talk more about each stock, but there's no way. Literally, it could be like 2 hours long. So I hope people added stocks to watch this, and we're gonna bank, guys. It's just literally Monday. Tomorrow's a new month, and we're gonna bank, guys. All right, peace. We're signing out.